Hey everybody, this is James from All Outdoors, and today we're going to be having a look at a Browning SA-22 and 22 long rifle. This was the first successful 22 autoloading rifle, and it was first patented by John Browning back in 1912. It was produced by FN in Belgium until the mid-1970s, before production was moved to the Miroku plant in Japan, and this is where you could still buy a brand new one. The SA-22 comes in a few different grades, and this one's a new grade 1 with a laser engraved blued steel receiver and barrel and a checkered walnut stock. It is a rifle that I've wanted for a long time, so join me as I put it through its paces. So let's take a closer look at this rifle before we do a little bit of accuracy testing. Like I said, this is a grade 1 and is the least ornate of these models, but it appeals to me. It is wearing a 19-inch tapered round barrel. It has a cut checkered walnut stock and, like I said, a laser engraved blued steel receiver. Some of the older ones that were made in Belgium were all done by hand, so that's a little bit of a form factor that's been lost over the years, but hey, they've done pretty well with this particular model. As you can see, the butt plate is steel and it hides the magazine tube. John Browning seems to have borrowed the loading system off of the old 1860 Spencer rifle, where the magazine is protected from damage by the buttstock and you simply load your rounds in through the back. The only other controls that are obvious is the conventional crossbolt safety and that distinctive bottom ejecting charging handle, which is a bit odd by today's standards, but gas and particulate getting in your face after every shot isn't fun, and 100 years ago, it was even more of a concern given how new gas-operated rifles were at the time. Most SA-22 rifles that are available today are takedown in configuration and use interrupted threads and a twist to break the rifle apart. There is also a knurled nub at the end of the barrel that you can adjust for the headspace in between the two halves in case the rifle were to work loose. The old Belgian guns had an optics rail on the receiver like you would a conventional 22 rifle, but these newer Japanese guns are tapped and drilled for a scope mount directly onto the barrel. Otherwise, we have a notched rear sight and a brass beaded front. But with that said, let's go put up some targets and do a little bit of shooting.
Alright, we have the Browning SA-22 loaded up with 5 rounds of CCI Blazer 40 grain round nose lead ammunition. It's essentially the high velocity CCI mini mag, but without a copper wash. It's one of my favorite loads. We have it loaded up in our SA-22. And I'm going to take some shots at 50 yards. It's raining down there, so I have the big camera zoomed in so you guys should see the impacts. Anyway, we're all loaded up and ready to go. And I want to point out that this gun, because it's a bottom eject, it's pretty friendly for left-handed shooters as well as right-handed shooters, because there's no going which way with your brass. It all just goes straight down, and which is why I'm shooting left-handed, which I don't normally do on this channel. So with that said, let's do a little bit of shooting. Looks like a good little group, a little bit high. Let's go ahead and change paces a little bit. I'm going to load up some CCI standard velocity. This is another 40 grain round nose lead ammunition. but it's running at about 1070 feet per second instead of 1280, which was with the Blazer, so it's running a bit slower in terms of muzzle velocity. So In some 22s, especially in these autos, they won't cycle with some of the weaker ammunition, so I just figured I'd run a couple rounds to see how it works. Got 5 rounds in there. We'll go ahead and load back up and shoot our upper target and see what kind of accuracy we can get. The loading this way is actually quite fast, just dump the rounds in haphazard like so. You don't have to be too careful about putting them in or lining them up with an injection port. You just throw them right on down, then you push your tube right back in. Loads perfectly fine. But you want to definitely make sure to pull that rod most of the way out, otherwise you'll get cases that'll be stuck in there and won't go in, so just something to keep in mind. But good to go. Go ahead and rack one in. Alright, let's give these lighter loads a bit of a shot now. At that upper target. Looks like a pretty good group, actually. So, that'll be about settled for paper. Let's go shoot something else. Bit of a rainstorm today, and kind of a little paranoid about getting this nice gun all wet, but let's go ahead and load it up. I'm going to load up to full capacity, 11 rounds. I got 3 clay birds, about 25 yards, and a steel plate at 75. Let's go ahead and give it a go. Two, 3, 4. You gotta let this one be your friend with gravity. Probably one too many there, but that's alright. Clean it up. Get about a quarter of a turn to the right and charge up. Let's give it a go. I'm not going to quit on a miss, guys. It's not going to happen. Let's go ahead and lit up some more. See what we got left. Just came in with a pocket full of shells. Got 4 rounds. This thing is a joy to shoot. Nice and lightweight, very well balanced. I'm just not very well balanced. Alright. Let's try again. Still quit or a miss. Oh well. Now, the Browning SA-22 is not a cheap gun, but I tell you what, you can find one while you still can. These things are a joy to shoot. This one's going to be sticking around for a long time. Thank you for watching.